So, for today, we have a couple of things that we need to get done. Number one is to get the paths done down towards here and then make that network of paths done. We need to add in trees and bits of grass. I'd quite like to add it in a bridge, maybe one here, maybe one there, and maybe, if there's time, one down here. I want to fill in all this up with water. I want to finish off the surrounding cliffs. I've kind of got a plan for that, but that is a plan, and I guess we may as well just get started. Okay, so I started off making a path just like how I did 2 episodes ago. I made the path using a shovel, added in a bit of coarse dirt and a bit of cobblestone to make it look a bit brighter, adding in a couple of fences with overhanging lanterns, just brightened up the path a bit more, going over with a bit of leaves, made it look a bit more foresty. But I did want to add in a bridge here, and after about 10 minutes we had quite a nice little bridge, and I did have to adjust some of the paths to make it fit a bit better, and I genuinely really like how it turned out. Okay, I think that looks quite nice. I will say quickly though that the tutorial that I used to make this will be linked somewhere in the description, and these little oak bits here should be spruce, but I haven't quite been able to trade with the Wandering Trader and get spruce saplings, which is a bit annoying, but I guess it will do. So now we're probably going to add in a couple of trees and bits of grass. I don't want there to be too many trees, not like how it is above there. That's meant to be a forest and I'm happy with that. I kind of want the landscape to transform from being a forest up to a plains, which is what I'm planning on building next after the lake. A bit like a gradient, I guess, having less trees as it goes down. I guess we'll see how it looks in the end. So as I mentioned earlier, I wanted the number of trees to kind of decrease as you go down, so that there's more trees up where the forest is and less nearby the lake. But I don't really know how I want the rest of the landscape to look. We might have some parts of the world that is made to look like other biomes in the game, or we could make biomes that are completely foreign to Minecraft. And that might be something to explore later in the future. I really do like how this is turning out already. I am probably going to leave the cliff till last, mainly because it's going to take a long time to get done, and it might take an entire day. Normally it takes 3 days to record these videos, and then I edit it in a day. So I reckon we'll leave the cliffs for another day, probably tomorrow. And now I kind of want to get started with this lower bit. So we'll get the islands sorted out first, and then we'll move on to the lake. So let's get started then. Okay, so I started off building an outline of where I wanted the islands to be. I wanted there to be one main one and then smaller ones kind of branching out away from that were fairly close by. Once I got them done, I started putting down a bit of water, which didn't take as long as I first thought, but I want the larger island to be more accessible. I then spent some time decorating the island, making it look a little bit nicer. I also made a bit of a rough path and scattered a couple of trees and a bit of bone meal around. I quickly threw down a bit of leaves blocks and it made the path look a bit better, and it actually started to look quite nice. Okay, so we are just back at the base quickly, and I want to get the cliffs to look a bit more realistic. Having them just being cobblestone, which they are now, it looks a bit bad. So I've decided to go with a gradient, and I want the lighter tones to be at the top, and these cobblestone, stone brick tones to be at the bottom. I could do with a couple more blocks, so in the meantime, I'm going to be waiting up for these guys to be able to breed a bit more. I've got a little bit of wheat, but I might need a bit more in a second. I've also, I don't know if you can see, but I've got the cobblestone generator going off, and I reckon after about an hour, we might be good. So I guess I'll see you when we're ready. Okay, so I started off adding in a bit of dirt so that it would smoothly transition from grass at the top to the stone cliffs. A bit like how we did the tube in one of the earlier videos. I then chucked down a little bit of light grey wool, which we got earlier, and it started to get a little bit difficult to see, but I added a bit of gravel, stone bricks, and regular stone. I then sorted out the top bit to make it look a little bit nicer, and got rid of most of the scaffolding that I was using. And you can see it looks so much better than it did earlier. But while I was here, I also finished up filling up a bit of dirt. Since I had some left over, I was able to carry on with where I left off in one of the earlier videos. I then chucked down a couple of oak saplings, and just below that I started to work on a path leading from the lower lake up to where we just built. So I started off with where I wanted the path to be and started to lead it up to join the new path. But at one point, I realised that I didn't have enough room to do that, so I had to go inside of where the cliff is. I chucked down a couple of torches to make sure things wouldn't spawn behind me, and realised I could do something that we haven't actually been able to do yet, which is adding in a little cave. So my method for this was to add in arches periodically throughout the cave, and then connecting the bits in between that using cobblestone, stone bricks, and light grey wool, and a little bit of gravel, but I was kind of running out at this point. I quickly joined up the path connecting the forest to the lake, using the exact same methods as we used earlier, and I do think it looks quite nice. Alright, so this is the new area that we've built quickly, and I wanted this path to go down to where the lake was, but I realised where I started off was way too far away, so I started to build inside of where the mountain is. I made a bit of a cave. I think it looks quite good. You can probably hear a couple of mob sounds. There's definitely spiders, skeletons, and zombies probably. I'm not too happy about the path, to be honest. I think it looks a little bad. I've only got dirt, coarse dirt, and path blocks, but for now I think it'll be fine. So we'll get the area below where we want the cliffs to be sorted first, before moving on to the actual cliffs. So we'll mainly aim to close the distance between this line here and where the cliffs are, bring it as close to the front as we can, try and get it to that height there. That could be quite nice. So yeah, I guess we'll get started with that then quickly. Okay, so while I'm just filling up this area in with dirt, I wanted to say quickly that we've done quite a few building videos, and I want to have a go at doing something a bit more adventurous, and there's still quite a lot of things that we haven't even got done yet. I haven't done a single raid, I haven't defeated the Wither, I've got absolutely no netherite, and I could do with getting a bit more End City loot. We probably won't get all of them done, but it's just something to look forward to in the next video. Oh my, no! Oh my god, what? Where did you come from? There's so many. Oh god, no. Oh god damn it. Oh my god, my heart. Oh my days, I need like a lie down after that. I'll be completely honest, I can't really be bothered to do any of the cliffs. It took way too long to do the bit up there, and that was a tiny little bit. And the annoying thing is that I know it will make it so much better, but I just really cannot be bothered. But I am really happy with the progress that we've made in this video so far, and it's a bit annoying how we're not going to have enough time to get the cliffs done. Ow. But it's just going to take way too long to do. But yeah, I reckon we'll probably leave that there then, and I'll see you next time. We also have a Discord, by the way, as well. I probably should have mentioned that. Link in description.